This demo will simply show the software in action, starting with a single record and ending with an output file. So for privacy reasons, I can only use my own data. And the spreadsheet here shows the single record that I am using. It has the 5 values that are required for the input screen on the Medicare Plan Finder page: the zip code, Medicare number, last name, Part A start date, and the date of birth of the client. In practice, we would have a large list of these records with a pilot starting with up to 100 and potentially running a full scan of all clients in Merced, which is around about 2,500 clients. So now I've started the software, which is being run as a Java application, and it will initiate a new Chrome browser page. As you can see, it says Chrome is controlled by automated software. That's being driven by the software. The Medicare Plan Finder entry page starts. We complete the data entry from the input file. Because I have drugs in the database, it's driven straight through. Similarly, the 2 pharmacies that are used to locate the system. We select the prescription drug plans only, and we end up with the final comparison page. Now, in my case, I do not have any current Part D plan, so the comparison page will not have the current plan, just simply the list of plans against pricing, against the list of drugs that I have. And the cheapest plan in this particular case is Aetna Medicare Prescription Select Plan, with a cost of $147 for the 7 months from June to the end of December. For most clients who will have their prescription drug plans and preferably a drug list, there will be current plan information set above all the data, and we can extract that. So when the files are run and all the data is extracted, it is all saved to another output file. So here's the file with the single record output based on my particular data. We need to be able to identify the client. So we are given the minimum information, last name and birth date, that can be used for lookup in PeerPlace. And then we have the output from the plan finder. So as I do not have a current plan, we flag it as not available, and the current cost is flagged as -1 because clearly there is no plan. The best plan in the comparisons was the Aetna Medicare Prescription Select Plan, as we saw, with the cost of $147 for the last 7 months of the year. I've also extracted whether the coverage includes subsidies, so we would be able to identify regular Medicare clients versus Medi-Medi clients, dual eligible clients. I've also flagged whether there's a drug list, which is important because if there isn't, the software will run to completion, but the costs on the plans are based on estimates of averages of drug costs, and would not apply to clients, particularly if they have a plan but they simply don't have any drugs and are basically paying the premiums. The next one is important, whether there's any saving. In this case, there is no saving to be made because I don't have another plan, so we flag it as not suitable. But for most clients where there will be a current plan with a current cost, it will be compared against the best plan and the savings computed. If those savings are positive, we flag the change with a yes instead of a no, indicating that a change is worthwhile making. Now, because we put in the drug lists and we can determine the amount of savings, and we can determine that again from other applications to prioritize customers based on the current cost of their plans, we could sort, filter, and manipulate this particular set of data that is output in order to find clients who should be changing almost immediately. So that's the end of the demonstration, to show that the software that's taken a couple of days to write will work. I've tested it a little bit robustly against various errors in the data by putting in incorrect data and checking whether the drug lists will or will not work, and going to completion, which they do. Obviously more cases need to be run. That's the purpose of running a pilot with about 50 to 100 records in order to test the software to see whether it works robustly against a number of different edge cases. And then we could run the whole of the Hicap's Merced County client list, which is about 2,500 clients, as a rough indication of the status of the need to make changes ultimately. So that ends the demonstration to show that it all works, and you have the accompanying document in order to understand more about the way the system works.